What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. My number 5 favorite game for Halloween: Masters of the Night. This is a game of playing vampires and establishing controlling areas around the city. This is an area control game. This is also a resource management game. Your blood is your life. It is your power to power your abilities, which themselves will grow as you gain experience. I love the modular board of basically tiles that you put down representing different areas in the city, from the police department to the park, all kinds of areas of interest for the vampires to help gain control of this area. It is a cooperative game, which is another thing I like. I do enjoy the cooperative games. Win together as a team, teamwork. During the course of the game, you're going to be not only trying to control different areas of the board, trying to control your resources, but you're also, I always have fun battling the agents that come to hunt you down. And it almost gets to feel a little bit like Pandemic, the way the hunters, the agents that are hunting you, that is, can start popping up all over the place and taking control of the tiles on you. You got to put them down as fast as you can. It's a little bit of tension there, and I like that in a game. The art to this game is absolutely beautiful. It's thematically perfect. It does help get your mind in the game. You're looking at this, everything is night, it's dark. It is very absolutely fitting. The characters are fun and well balanced. They harken back to old school style, 80s, 90s kind of vampires that you would find in Anne Rice ripoff books and graphic novels, but not cheaply done. No, I mean, in a very good way. They are reminiscent, tip of the hat to these kind of crazy and unique vampire types. The game plays out fast and fun. The rules are not overly fidgety, and it's something that is easy enough to teach. And these are all some of the reasons why I find that Masters of the Night is my number 5 favorite game to play at Halloween. My number 4 favorite game to play at Halloween: Coma Ward. This is an 18 and up game. It does have adult themes, which takes it a step above most of the other games that you find. It adds an element taking it out of the kids' realm, and in this case, giving you some hard decisions to make. I love the fact that this game, to me, feels like a steroided up version of Betrayal at the House on the Hill. Although this doesn't necessarily have to have a betrayal in it. There's a lot of different phenomena that could possibly be happening at the second act of this game. And some of them may be betrayal mode. Others won't be. That's another thing about the game I enjoy, is the amount of choices that there are that comes in each of these decks. That when you learn what the phenomenon is, opening up the deck, and the deck then right there in the moment teaching you what's going on and how to set up the new cards and how the players are going to win or lose. It comes together great. It does feel like an adult version of Betrayal in the House on the Hill. Because of the style of the game, it was specifically written to have a high level of storytelling in it. It does have a narrative that runs through it, and it feels dark and creepy. Everything about this game does. The components of this game add an element of creepiness to it. The fact that you are in an abandoned yet operational hospital is creepy AF. And on top of that, you have no memory of who you are or why you're there. Everything about this game is written in a way to get the small hairs on your body to stand up in an almost electric little dance. There are certain aspects of this game that I really think bring it to life, such as the optional rule of the mental conditions that players can be having and experiencing during the course of the game. And I highly recommend that anyone playing the game uses that aspect to it, because it's going to bring the game to life in a way that it really is meant to be. I feel like that should have been the standard in the game, and playing without it should have been a variant optional rule. The game isn't made for everyone because of the adult themes that can be found in it. So definitely keep it away from the kids. It's not a family game unless you're the Manson family or the Addams family. But with that being said, that's why Coma Ward is number 4, my favorite games to play for Halloween. My number 3 favorite game to play for Halloween. Run, Fight, Die, Reloaded. This is a dice-chucking zombie survival game that doesn't necessarily take itself overly seriously, but at the same time, although it has some jokes and jibes in it, it doesn't take itself as a joke either. I find that it does have a nice sweet spot that is balanced right there between the two types of zombie games that you find, or even movies and TV shows, either being very, very serious or very, very silly. And this does a great job of touching on both. Although this is not a cooperative game, it's not necessarily either designed as a competitive game as much as a just see who wins first. But it does have aspects of take that style of gaming to it when the opportunities arise to shift and move zombies off of your board. That's right, onto somebody else's board. And that little bit of take that without overly doing it and overly relying on it, I really think helps add another level to the game, bringing it to life just a little bit more than it was without going overboard. Without going overboard at all. It again, I got to use the same word, it finds a good balance. And in that respect, the art, which I do enjoy, it's good art style, it is a little bit comical. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe family, maybe a little kiddish, but it's good. It's fitting, and it helps bring the theme to the game, I think, more to life on the gaming table. The simple rule mechanics make this game not only easy to learn, but also easy to teach. This is the kind of game that when you get it out of the box and you go through the rules of it, you'll have it on the table and ready to play in like 10, 15 minutes maybe. It really is that quick. And you're going to have a good, fun experience with this. It has aspects of tower defense, the way the zombies are far, far away, and right on top of your ass. You do have to be careful. The management of this game, of zombies, trying to manage your zombies. I love the tension-filled system that it has, almost like a lobster slowly boiling in a pot. That's the plot. It does help bring the game a little bit more to life. I've played this game solo, and it does have a fun feel solo, but honestly, playing it with other players, with other people, and not just doing it solo is really where I believe that this game comes to life. It does have a very strong sense of needing another player there. Some of the way the cards are written to take that aspect of the game is all part of the mechanisms and strategies that you're going to have to be using to win. So when you incorporate this as a multiplayer game, it is always, I think, gonna play better than solo. Although you will have a good time, I believe. You will have a good time in the solo mode. This is a zombie game that does not rely either in the story that it's telling or in the actual art for the game itself. This is the kind of zombie game that is not reliant on blood and gore. One of the reasons why I think that makes this, as a zombie game, a good family game is it does avoid that. The art also helps. The fact that it doesn't take itself seriously and has a little bit of self-awareness of itself being a zombie game. And you'll see as the cards play out, all do help to make this a fun family game on top of everything else. And those are the reasons why Run, Fight, and Die is my number 3 favorite Halloween game. My number 2 favorite Halloween game. Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space. This game is great at having you swim through tension, through a bit of anxiety. This is something I love. It is a hidden role, hidden movement game. Some of you will be scientists trying to escape from the space station because other scientists have been infected and turned into half human, half alien, monster, cannibal, meat-eating, human-eating creatures. You gotta get to an escape pod, and not all of them work. It is a fun theme, and no matter what side that you are playing on, whether you're a human scientist trying to escape, or whether you're an infected, monstrous scientist that's trying to hunt down and either infect the other players if you can, or just, outright eat them, taking them out of the game completely instead of switching them over to sides. This game has a really good balance of that. Starting off with 1 or 2, usually, of the infected, and everyone else being human. But sides can turn, numbers and odds will change pretty quickly in this game. I love that. Now, this game does have a fairly high player count with 8. And I honestly think that the game should be listed as 6 to 8. I don't think anything less than 6 should be played in this game. You can do 5. It'll be okay, I guess. But it's really going to shine when you have 6 or more. Now, because this game isn't going to take very long, it's not a super long game to play, and using up to maybe all 8 slots of possible players, you're going to have a game that's going to handle a lot of players over the course of the night with several games. And for a party game, if you want to bring this out for a Halloween, that's great. That's exactly what you're looking for. Now, I also dig the components in this game, the cards particularly. The spiral map books are okay with the dry erase. The dry erase pens will run out on you, though. The maps are really cool. But the cards drip with thematic imagery, because while you're trying to escape in this space station from the aliens, what I forgot to mention to you earlier is the power is out. So you're in complete darkness. That is creepy AF, man. So a lot of the cards, all the cards represent that, being in different levels of shade. You know, and the spotlight card being very bright, causing a very bright spotlight, contradicting all the darkness of that and the other cards. It does play up beautifully, and they captured the black and white back and forth creep factor, I think, in the art extremely well. Now, I mentioned that there's a spiral bound notebooks. These are your map books. Each of the players has a map book. And that really helps contribute to the fact that this is a game that's going to have a very quick setup time. Basically, everyone gets a spiral notebook that has several pages that you can flip through. And each page is another version of, or level of, maybe you could say, but a version of the space station, and how you're going to get around to it, where your starting area is, where you have to get to for the escape pods. Each one is different because of the shapes. Some of them are easier shaped, while others have a lot of, little funnel points that are going to make it hard to get through secretly and quietly. And that too adds to the tension a bit in this game. And the game also has very simple rules. Most of it is driven by iconography. You know, you just you learn the symbols, and the symbols are very easy to learn. In fact, the back of the spiral notebooks with your maps on them has definitions for each of the icons. It has definitions for everything, making it very, very easy to learn, because now you're not just learning it from the rules, but you have this great, cheat system set up where you can look up any of the rules anywhere on your notebook at any time. That's sweet. That's helped me out a few times, but after a few games, these rules are easy enough, and you're going to have them down where you're not even looking at anything anymore. Altogether, this is the kind of game that if you want to pull out on a party of people, like I said, 6 to 8 people, you're going to have a great time, for anywhere from 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes. These don't run very long at all. I really have enjoyed this game so much every time I've gotten it down on the table. And those are the reasons why Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space is my number 2 favorite Halloween board game. My number 1 favorite Halloween board game to play, Dead of Winter. This is a tough-ass adultish game. Well, it can be adultish. There's cards you can modular in and out of it to make it more or less adulty in some of its content. But the setting of this game is great because not only do you have to worry about the zombies, but it's set, as the title says, in the dead of winter, dead of one of the deadliest winters. Winter is coming. Winter is here, Jon Snow. It's in this game. And so you also have to worry about the winter. You could freeze to death out there. And you got to go out there because you got to hunt down for resources and supplies. I love the fact that you're not just playing a character in this game, a survivor. No, you're playing basically a team of survivors in a colony of survivors. And there's even going to be some sort of NPC survivors that, really just count as extra mouths you got to feed and bodies you got to protect, while you and your main characters are going out and doing shit. You're getting resources. You're hammering down boards onto the doors and the windows. Everyone has a job at this place. And this also has a very cool system of what they call crossroad cards. There's a series of games that they come out with that use the crossroads system. I believe this is the first of it. And this is what I was talking about. The modular cards you can put in and out of the system has a series of cards with adult and some of them very, very disgusting and gross. And they have little icons on the cards that denote which of them are which type. So you can take them in or out. Me personally, I leave all of the hardcore cards in. And during the course of the game, you're going to be playing this on a turn basis. And eventually you're going to draw a card that's going to match a situation for you. Either a specific person is in your survivor group, or maybe a specific survivor is at a location. Or maybe something just happened at a location. And if the criteria matches, then you read the card and you get to make a choice. And these are usually very tough adult choices, coming right down to exiling people out into the snow and the zombies. Wow. I love that. It makes it one of the best, well, in this case, obviously the best zombie game I've ever played. And it keeps going. They have the sequel is pretty much the same thing. And I love it when an expansion gives you more of the same of what you already know and love and want. And then the third one, Warring Colonies, puts survivor camps versus survivor camps. Turns it into a versus game, take this cooperative game. Now, it isn't always necessarily a cooperative game either. The players get certain cards that will give them goals and missions. Some of them are unfriendly, some of them are quite selfish, and therefore come off and just are quite evil. So you can have a betrayer in the group, but not necessarily. It's not necessarily a betray game. And that's another thing I really like about this game is after the second, usually the second, sometimes the third time players go through this game, if I don't mention anything up front, they're going to realize that not every game has a betrayer. But yet they're going to have to play every game as if there is a betrayer, because there might be. And if there is, they can't let their guard down. Oh, it's great. It adds more more tension, more stress to the game. I love that. And those are reasons why Dead of Winter is my #1 favorite Halloween board game.